Well, it looks like Hollywood has chosen death, or rather, AG Bonta has chosen death for Hollywood because he has canceled the Paramount settlement meeting. This was the big meeting Monday. They were going to talk. They were going to discuss what it would take to get this thing over with so everybody could move on, so Paramount would hopefully stay in California, so David Ellison would not just pack up and move to Austin, Texas, even though he's already picked a location. And at the last minute, Bonta decided to cancel the talks, said that apparently Ellison was playing games.
I don't think Ellison's the one playing games, Bonta.
No, and this is after Gavin Newsom said he wanted to see this thing settled. This was after the CEOs of all the theater chains wanted to see this thing settled. This is after IATSE and the Directors Guild said, hey, this is good for Hollywood. We need to do this. And remember, guys, Bonta is the guy who FA'd and FO'd with Spirit Airlines. He wouldn't let that go through, and Spirit Airlines went out of business. This is what could happen to Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I still have my opinions on that one. But anyway, but the Warner Brothers thing, it's like, this feels now like it's a personal vendetta more than anything, because they're like, okay, let's have this meeting, let's get this thing settled. And then, oh, I'm not going to settle with you now. I'm going to drag this out longer to try to cost you money. At this point, Bonta looks like he's doing this for personal reasons.
Yeah, or financial reasons. I mean, maybe
like same reason he probably didn't want JetBlue to buy Spirit.
Yeah. So, I mean, they need to take this guy out of the equation. Newsom needs, like, if you want to save jobs in California, if you want to save jobs in Hollywood, you need to get this guy out of the picture, because he is going to wind up costing you everything. Not only is David Ellison going to take Paramount to Texas and take all the jobs with him, but if the Warner Brothers acquisition does not go through, Warner Brothers will be torn down and sold for scrap. Or if David Ellison gets Warner Brothers and he's already moved to Texas, guess what? He's taking Warner Brothers to Texas too. Why the hell would you stay in the state that hates you?
Well, and the thing is, all the reasoning, him and these other attorney generals, the reasons as we've talked at length, are just bogus reasons. Like, they're stupid. Oh, we're trying to keep the cost down to our state, state people. It's like, that's not true, because you didn't care about everybody else raising their prices. Oh, no. The job losses. We've already proven on here that's a load of shit. That there's far more jobs that have already been lost because of the strikes, and because which they did to themselves, and because of shipping all the jobs overseas that the studios did to themselves, and because of if this goes under, Warner Brothers is done, and Warner Brothers is sold off, and Paramount leaves the state, far fewer jobs. This is bullshit, because it's going to cause so much more catastrophic job loss if they don't get Warner Brothers.
Yeah, so let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Hey, you got this week yet? You can go out and back Geeky Sparkles Retro Halloween Revenge glowing enamel pins for people who like glowing enamel pins. The glow in the dark, because we have those.
But they're and cute things that look like retro Halloween.
Yes, these are retro Halloween pins she designed. They're do glow in the dark. They are from last year. A lot of people were asking for them again. We did a run and we ran out, so we're doing them again. And also, you can add a neon pin this year with your Geeky Witch. So check that out on Kickstarter. Geeky Sparkles Retro Halloween Revenge glowing enamel pins. Okay, she's in a mood this morning.
She
informs me. So let's take a look at this. You're going to be in a bigger mood, I think, once we get into the article, because
I'm sure I will be, because I'm ready to rip some new assholes, and you know what? He looks like a prime candidate to me. Fresh meat.
This is the face of the destroyer, right? This is the face of the destructor right here. This guy destroys businesses.
And I'm going to destroy his ass. That's
how. You gotta be careful how you phrase it. Phrasing.
Okay, yeah. I should have said
That's how we met. You looked at me and you said, "Hey, buddy, I'm gonna destroy your ass." I was like, "Okay, all right. I'm gonna marry this one." Yeah. Anyway, Bonta cancels Paramount settlement meeting. California AG accuses Ellison of playing games in Warner Brothers merger talks. Bullshit. He's already picked out
the games. He's a game master.
He's already picked out the place he's going to move Paramount to. They're already picking out curtains. Okay. I mean, he's serious. I'm sorry. If I were in his place, I'd be like, I am not going to stay in a state that does not want me. Okay. They obviously don't want me here. And it's on you if you lose all those jobs, right?
Well, I mean, just to me, the governor's even telling you to knock this shit off, and you're still doing it.
Yeah, and they're calling Newsom. They're calling Newsom MAGA now because Newsom is even like, I'd like to see this settled so we can all move on.
Because it's catastrophic. Like the ripple effect is going to be catastrophic to California.
Okay. There will be no summit talks meeting Monday between Paramount and a coalition of state attorneys. California AG Rob Bonta canceled the scheduled sit-down late Sunday after reports of an August 21st meeting with the David Ellison-led company oozed out.
It's been out for days, okay? It was out like... he's trying to say that they deliberately let it slip. They did not. And I was actually reading an article on Deadline about it. And Deadline said that, to be fair, they heard it from, a variety of sources, if you know what I mean. Meaning they heard it from variety. But the point is, it's like, it was out there. It does not mean that Paramount's one that did it. He's playing games. He's the one that is playing games, and he's acting like a little bitch. And everybody can see it.
Yeah, this is, like I said, this is going to go down just like Spirit Airlines, where Spirit Airlines had no other choice. They had to merge or they would go out of business. And guess what? They went out of business. And you're going to wind up destroying a good portion of Hollywood. And then they'll all blame David Ellison. But David Ellison wanted to stay in California. He wanted to acquire Warner Brothers. He wanted the company to become solvent. And you guys are just like, no, not that way.
At this point, they all deserve what they get at this point. You know what? You can blame Bonta. If y'all lose your jobs, if Warner Brothers gets sold off for scrap, which means they can swoop in and buy a bunch of it anyway and get what they wanted anyway, right? It gets sold off. Paramount leaves, and that costs the state, millions, if not billions of dollars in revenue, okay, and job losses. You look in the mirror and be like, well, we wanted this, especially if you're WGA.
Yeah, and I want to remind people, I mean, you want to talk about who's destroying Hollywood. I would actually point at the WGA specifically, because they were the ones that were being the biggest assholes during the strikes too. And they were holding their breath because they wanted a certain number of writers in the writer's room, and they wanted this, and they wanted Oompa Loompa, and they wanted, all this shit to be greenlit that studios didn't have the money for. The other unions weren't as demanding as the WGA. And now the WGA seems to be the holdout in this one too, because IATSE and the Directors Guild are like, let's just get this done so we can move on, right? It's kind of inevitable. And the Writers Guild are like, no, we want to make sure everything stays the same. Everything needs to stay the same forever. It's like, that's not how life works.
Well, they know they're screwed because the last deal, they agreed to go an extra year in between negotiations just to get their enough money to keep their health insurance going, because they that's our new word, FAFO'd, because that's what they did when they screwed up with the first strike back in 2023. It screwed them all up. And there wasn't as many jobs, which we said was going to happen, because you want more, and they weren't going to get much money, and their health insurance was almost depleted. And it was their own doing. So now they're like, yeah, we don't want this to go through because there's going to be fewer jobs for us. It's like, but your idiocy is going to cost everybody and across the state, because if that money comes to the state and then in taxes and stuff, and it benefits the entire state, people across the whole state are going to suffer because of moronic choices made in LA. Look, again, I didn't care if Netflix or Paramount bought Warner Brothers, but somebody had to, because Warner Brothers, it was going to go under, and it would be catastrophic if it did, just to the financial ecosystem of the state. And now they're just going to, throw caution to the wind, and he's just going to, waits until, the 11th hour, and it's like, I'm not going to do it now because you're playing games. I'm like, dude, the one who looks like a little bitch here is not Ellison. It's you. The one who looks like they're hiding something is not Ellison's. It's you. The one who looks like they're playing games and they're being, underhanded is not them. It's you.
All right. So here's what he said. Not only did Paramount leak the alleged substance of settlement discussions, but they misrepresented these discussions, demonstrating a lack of good faith. He was just looking for a reason to know about.
Oh, yeah, this is a Deadline article. Yes.
Yeah. The AG said in a statement provided a deadline at the midnight hour. As soon as Paramount stops playing games and engages sincerely, my office is happy to meet again.
No, you're the ones who aren't engaging sincerely. You have been out of your way. At this point, it comes across as you have a personal vendetta, because there's no other reason.
It gets better though. Guess who leaked it. News of behind-the-scenes talks in the bitter battle over Paramount's $111 billion merger with Warner Brothers were actually first confirmed publicly by Gavin Newsom. I know there are many meetings that are going on, and there's a lot of conversation, the presumed 2028 presidential candidate said on August 21st. Should be noted that Deadline actually heard details of the August 21st preliminary to set the agenda for the 24th meeting from a variety of sources, if you know what I mean.
Of course, it's Hollywood. People are going to know. There's going to be people who know. It's probably people from his office, too, went out and leaked it. You know, it was, of course, and everybody gets, one person finds out and they start digging, everybody's going to know about it, whether it be this case or another. But then if that's the case, why didn't you cancel it then? Why didn't you cancel it when it was leaked a couple days ago? Why did you wait till the night before? That's what makes you look like a little bitch.
Yeah, so this is the thing. What they're asking for, it's not just CNN. It's ridiculous. It said representatives of the 12 state AGs who sued Paramount and Warner Brothers in antitrust action on July 13th wanted Ellison to sell a bunch of Warner Brothers' still lucrative cable channels. That would be CNN as well. The elected officials sought to have Paramount and Warner Brothers remain two separate studios, with Trump pal Ellison practically cordoned off from running the place he just bought. So he can buy it, he can pay for it, he can keep the jobs here, but he can't run it.
How does that even make any sense?
It doesn't make
Because
any sense.
if you keep running Warner Brothers as it is, how's that going to make sense? They already ran it into the ground. And if you have two separate studios, that's actually going to limit it far more than if you can combine it into one. And this is a load of shit. And yeah, it's your cable network, CNN.
Yeah. David's not going to go along with any of that. And Bonta
Nobody
knows
would.
It. Yeah. So he's trying to make out like he's being Mr. Tough Guy, but Ellison's already, again, just to put this in perspective, Ellison has already picked out a lot in Austin, Texas. Okay. I can guarantee you after this horse shit, he's already packing up the moving vans. He's like, fuck these people.
Yeah, and here's the thing: it's going to cost jobs. But he's like, the 4,500 jobs that's going to be redundancies for Warner Brothers is nothing in comparison to the amount of jobs that are going to be lost when Warner Brothers folds from your, idiocy, and the fact that Paramount's going to leave and they're going to take the jobs with them.
Yes. So this is who's against Bonta at this point, and this is surprising because a lot of these people you'd think would be against the merger. I mean, they probably are. Let me put it to you this way. Sometimes when the chips are down, you have to make hard decisions that are not ideal, but you don't have a choice, right? And at this point, there is no other option really for Warner Brothers other than being dismantled, which is going to cost jobs too. And if they want anything resembling old Hollywood to remain intact, they need to play ball with this guy. They don't want to. I can guarantee you they don't want to, but it is what it is. Holding your breath and turning blue, no pun intended, is not going to solve anything. That's why I see these people on social media all the time like, well, they should just say no. They should just say no. I'm like, you bitches are going to be starting GoFundMes in 6 months because you're not going to have any work in Hollywood. Just like with the strikes. We said the same thing's going to happen. I never said it was ideal that, these streamers were making ridiculous money and they weren't paying their people, whatever. I never said it was ideal, but I said you're going to fool around. They're going to look at it from a financial perspective. They're going to be like, you guys cost twice as much as you did before and you're a pain in the ass. So we're going to cancel as much as we can cancel and outsource as much as we can cancel or as much as we can. And that's exactly what happened. Now they're all like, we don't understand why Hollywood just collapsed, why they're not greenlighting anything. I'm like, I can tell you exactly why.
And the brain trust behind that one are the ones that are mad about this.
The writers union. Yeah.
Yeah.
These are the same people that went after people on talk shows and they went after, Bill Maher. They went after Bill Maher, even though they didn't have writers because the writers were on strike and they admitted the show's not as good without the writers. They went after Bill Maher. They shamed Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore, who comes from Hollywood royalty, they harassed and shamed her because she continued her show because she had a contractual obligation to continue her show with or without writers.
She said she was worried about her other employees.
Her other people.
Because they didn't know what they were going to do and she was trying to help them at least. And she didn't use any writers.
So, I mean, and that's the thing. And she even said it's not going to be as good without writers. She had a monologue, whatever, but she's trying to keep her people employed. And I'm like, if you're part of a union and you can't understand that she's doing what she has to do to keep her people employed, so the show doesn't get canceled and everybody's out of work, then I don't know what to fucking tell you because
they want everything off the air so that they can pressure Hollywood to let them have their way is what they did. And they got their way mostly And exactly what we said would happen. You're going to get what you want, but fewer of you are going to be around to have it. And that's exactly what happened. And this is going to be the same thing. This idiot's going to get what he wants, but there's going to be fewer jobs and a lot less money to the state and a hell of a lot less jobs than 4,500 lost because of Paramount leaving and because Warner Brothers implodes.
Yeah. So this is who's against this guy. Governor Newsom, shockingly. LA Mayor Karen Bass, shockingly. The Directors Guild, IATSE, because the below the line workers, when they have this bullshit go down, they're the ones who, well, one, there are a lot more of them than there are above the line workers, but they're the ones who suffer the most because they shut down productions.
Well, then, and so a lot of people like, ancillary jobs, like, caterers and things like that work around the sets, they're suffering too, because they don't have even like protections of union stuff. So they're screwed.
Yeah. So here's the gubernatorial candidate. Was it Xavier Becerra? I don't know how to pronounce the name. But like all these other Democrats are like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just get this done. With Bonta decrying leaks of Ellison moving Paramount to Georgia, Texas, or Tennessee if the Para Bros merger doesn't see significant talks or resolution by October 1st as blackmail.
Well, what do you call this?
Blackmail.
It's blackmail to say he's going to leave. But, him waiting until like midnight the night before, that's not blackmail. That's not playing games.
Yeah, it's a game of PR chicken. Someone just blinked. You're going to fool around and. Well,
if he's were at PR, you done effed up, dude, because everybody thinks they think you are the one causing it. And I'm sorry, a lot of these states that are involved in this lawsuit that have nothing to do with Hollywood, you're at fault too. And if I were somebody that was in those states and they were using your taxpayer money for this shit, I'd be mad.
Yeah. Yeah, just a reminder, guys, again, for the umpteenth time, Bonta is almost directly responsible for Spirit Airlines collapsing because he wanted to hold his breath. Now we don't have Spirit Airlines. And there are a bunch of people at one of the local airports that are out of work now because they use Spirit.
Hey, I'm just saying, who benefits the most if Spirit went out? Like the other airlines or one of these little low budget airlines that couldn't get a foothold in the marketplace because they couldn't, there was JetBlue and Spirit already had the places. I'm just saying, I would be looking into seeing if someone got a little richer when this all collapsed. Because it makes no sense to allow this stuff to happen unless there's some benefit to the dipshit behind it.
It would not surprise me. I'm not saying it is the case, but it would not surprise me if there were money being exchanged from potentially a rival studio that doesn't want to see this happen.
Or a union.
Or a union that doesn't want to see this happen. Although the writers union, I think they're broke ass because they were struggling with health insurance. Some
other organization that doesn't want CNN gone.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on because when you've got the rest of the Democrats in California saying like, look, let's just get this done, Yeah,
because they know California is going to suffer horrific damage, like terrible. We're not talking just in LA. It's going to ripple across the entire state if all that money's gone. Like, it's going to hurt everyone.
If I were Newsom, I'd be on the phone immediately because he sent this thing. Bonta sent this to Deadline like last night at like midnight. I'd be on the phone. I'd be like, what the fuck? That'd be number one. And number two, it'd be like, hey, what can we do to get this guy out of here? Because he's gonna ruin everything. But I want everybody to know that this is the guy who's gonna cost you so many Hollywood jobs right here. He's the guy
who cost Spirit Airlines, got a lot of passengers stranded, and other airlines had to step in and get you home. You can thank that guy right there.
Yeah, so I can almost guarantee you Ellison's probably on the phone already. He's gonna make this move happen because fuck it, I wouldn't play games. I'd be like, you know what? I gave you an out. I gave you an option. I'm leaving. I'm taking my tax money with me. I'm taking my jobs with me. You can deal with the fallout in California because that's, this is all you're doing.
Yeah, he has like little man syndrome. Like
that's what I
think
it is.
Bitch.
Yeah.
And he's just like, good job. You're like, I took it down. Yeah, you did. And you get everything that comes with it because this is stupid. And I didn't care, like I said, again, who bought it. Whether it be Netflix or Paramount, but somebody had to save the studio, to save the jobs, to save the state. And you, little bitch, just took it all out because it sounds personal. There's no other reason anybody looking at this would look at this and be like, oh, he's completely right. Like at this point, it seems like he's doing it because he has a personal issue and he's a little bitch.
Yeah, I think he likes the attention. I think you're right.
Play games. What do you think you're doing?
Yeah. We're gonna
Blackmail. What do you think you're doing?
Exactly, right? Like, you need to stay here and sell off your stuff, and even though you pay for isn't that the most commie thing ever? Like, you bankroll at David Ellison, but you can't run it. Mm-hmm. You can give us all your money. You can give us all your tax money.
Well, no one's going to run it, because if they don't get it, it's going to go belly up. So Good job. Unless there's not somebody else in the wings that's paying this guy off to try to get ruined so they can step in and buy it. Like, Netflix has come back and buy it after all.
Buy it cheaper.
I'm just saying there's something fishy going on here.
There's something.
In my opinion, and I'm going to say it, I don't fucking care. In my opinion, because it's my opinion, somebody's getting paid off. Because it makes no sense otherwise.
We're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.